Hey, I'm Julie Winter-Paez, the team leader of the JWP group at RE/MAX, and I'm excited today. My baby girl is going through the motions of getting pre-approved because she is going to start shopping for her first house. Now, I don't know if you remember your first house, but I remember mine. In no way was it my dream piece of real estate. In no way was it exactly where I knew I wanted to land at the end of the day, but it was a stepping stone to what I knew was more and bigger and better things to come. And that's the message that I'm trying to impart upon her. And honestly, I would try to impart upon anybody looking for the first time in the market. I feel like when I'm talking to some of my buyer's agents, as well as when I'm talking to some of the first-time home buyers myself that I'm working with, there's this big list of wants and needs. I want exactly the perfect backyard. I want exactly 3 bedrooms. I want exactly 3 baths. I want a big master suite, a huge walk-in closet. You know, the list of things that people want is so huge. And sometimes I feel like we get stuck wanting all of these things that we're missing opportunities of where we could have something now and get started on the process of doing it. I can't think of any first-time home buyer who bought the dream house right out of the gate. I don't think that's a realistic expectation. I think the first house is the learning house. It's the first step in the market. It's the first investment. We don't even know how long we're going to be there sometimes, and it might become a rental property building on your future financial portfolio. So I encourage you, and I'm also encouraging my daughter, to keep the list small. Yes, a safe area. Yes, a smart location. Yes, an area that you think is going to be growing and thriving 10 years from now. But you don't have to have everything perfect on day one. Part of the perfection is doing it yourself and using your sweat equity and your style and your flair and your time and energy to make it what you need it to be. And I think that we get stuck sometimes with a big list of wants that we forget that we could be doing and creating and having. And I feel like we have that same conversation in the Northwoods when we're working with first-time home buyers on a second home. They're buying their first, dabbling in the first second home they've ever owned for their family to take vacations. And I always tell them, you're never going to get 100%, but if we can get you to 75 or 80, the rest of it you can get there yourself. And I think it's very similar with a first-time home buyer. Get the majority of the things that you need, but you don't have to have everything you want. I think our very first investment property was about 8 years ago. We bought this little house in town, less than 100,000. It's probably worth about 150 or 160 in this market. And I'll tell you what, that equity that's in that house, it's nothing that we did to create it. It's nothing that was so smart or savvy on our end. It's nothing that was like a great investment, like we picked the stock market at the right time. It's nothing where we worked an extra 20 hours a week to attain. That would just be money that's equity in there because we took the plunge and we did it. And I don't want that to always get lost. That sometimes the doing and the taking the plunge and making a sacrifice on that big set of wants or needs is what it's all about. So if you're looking in northern Wisconsin, I would love to help you. But if you have somebody in your life that's sitting on the fence and they keep waiting and watching for the perfect property, maybe just give them the nudge that they need to take action. Because sometimes we get stuck and action is all that's needed. Granted, it has to be smart action, but there's people that can help guide you towards that smart action. But just do it and get out there and start your life and start your portfolio. And in my daughter's case, start living the American dream and owning a home. It's a very exciting time for her. And again, if we can help in any way, give us a holler.